Hello everyone, a little bit of a different video today, but just before we get started, this particular video is a sponsored post, so the microphone I'm going to be speaking about today was sent and paid and sent out to me, but all thoughts, opinions and everything are completely my own, not being forced or made to say anything or it's being shared with anyone. But yeah, so just to give a little bit of context, I've been using the Fifine microphone now for a couple of weeks. Now the specific model of the one I have is a USB microphone, and I guess it's particularly marketed more towards like gaming, so like plugging it in, and then more I guess for streamers. But at least in my case, I've been using it more for work, so sort of video calls over Slack and Google Meet. And then I've been using it as well to do some like basic voiceovers and some like work video projects as well. So for me it's just sort of been an upgrade on using the built-in microphone on my laptop, and just have something that then I can link in with my main computer, use alongside with my webcam, and then not have to constantly take out my laptop, and I can just use my main machine going forward. So I would say, like, if you're looking for something that's just slightly better than like the built-in quality you might have on, say, like a pair of headphones or the laptop you use, a USB microphone's probably like the next decent step up in terms of like getting like slightly better quality, pretty easy to use, just plug and play and push it in, and yeah, it just provides like a better experience in terms of if you're having a lot of video calls, which I assume, if like me, over the last few years it's been something that's just been increasing and increasing, especially with working from home. So the device itself, it comes in and around the £40 or so mark, so that sort of puts it in like the, I'd say the mid-lower spec range, like budget ones. I guess other similar like USB microphones that I've used probably in the past would be something like the Yeti Snowball Ice, and that's like in and around the same price depending on sales or whatever. And at least in terms of what I've experienced, work calls have been just clear. I haven't had any complaints really with no one being able to hear me or just disconnecting, or the audio quality being really low or weak. But I guess just to give you a bit of a summary, I'll just have a quick cut. So currently I'm recording off my phone and using like a lavalier Rode mic plugged in, so that's like the current sound quality you're hearing now. I'll just then cut quickly to a short recording of the Fifine microphone just to give you an idea of what it sounds like. So this is the quality from the microphone itself. So this is just going to be a quick test of the microphone quality just from the Fifine microphone itself, just to give you a little bit of a comparison compared to the microphone quality that's come from the lavalier microphone that's linked into my phone, and then the camcorder built-in microphone quality, just to give you an idea of what it all sounds like. Yes, and then just to give you a little bit of another comparison, I'm shooting that on my Sony Handycam, so it's the CX405, and this is then the built-in microphone quality on that, just to have a bit of a comparison between the lavalier on my phone, built-in microphone on the Sony Handycam, and then the actual audio quality on the microphone itself. Just to give you a little bit of a comparison between the different options you have, and hopefully give you a bit of an idea of what it's actually going to sound like. Yeah, a few other things to mention. It's got a quick like touch feature on the top, so you can quickly mute and unmute it. Find it's fairly handy because it's nice to have a physical mute button instead of having to go and click on your computer. And then the other thing, I guess, with it being a gaming mic, this is probably a personal one that I'm not a massive fan of. It has a sort of LED light on the actual microphone itself. So initially I thought it was maybe going to be a big garish, like almost like the gaming laptops you have and everything like that. I'm personally not a massive fan of having RGB everywhere, but honestly it's hardly that noticeable really. It's quite soft colour, and then when it's not in use and when you mute it, it turns off anyway. So it's completely fine. And then in terms with like what you get out of the box, you're pretty much all set to get going. Comes with like a pretty cheap basic stand, but at least then you have everything you need to get going. And it even comes with like a little sound suppressor with it as well, which helps with sort of like with the audio quality itself in terms of hitting too much loud noise on it. So that's another good advantage of that one. So is it something I would recommend? I mean, for the price, I would say definitely. I mean, if you've heard the audio quality footage before, realistically, I think it's a lot better than what I had in my built-in microphone coming out of my old laptop. So just having that slight upgrade without having to spend too much money on any fancy microphone equipment, or maybe if you're just starting out, you're streaming, or it could be anything. Just if you're working from home a lot like me and you just want to have a slightly better audio experience just so it's easier in all the work calls you're having, I think it's a pretty decent option. And then if you're okay with having like a little bit of RGB lighting, I mean, that's a personal touch, it might be something you're more of a fan of. I think it's a pretty good option just to have. I know there's a lot of decent USB microphones out there, but quality wise, yeah, it's not a bad little device out of the box. And over the past couple of weeks I haven't had an issue at all with it, and it's going to be something I'm going to be using alongside my current sort of work from home office setup now for the foreseeable future really. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If it is something you're interested in, let me know. I can leave a link to it below on Amazon. And yeah, if you have any thoughts, any questions, feel free to drop a message and I'll get back to you. And yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.